Welcome back. The spring greenup is underway in many areas of the country. And while the grazing options should soon be more plentiful, for cattle producers in the Fescue belt, the season brings real challenges. In states where tall fescue grows, cow-calf producers can face a real hit to their herd's health and productivity during the hot season. Now there's a new management tool in the battle against problems fescue causes. For more, we turn to Cattlemen reporter Brian Baxter in Missouri.
You can't help but be impressed with the green pastures and good-looking cows that call Circle A Angus in southwest Missouri home. This is an operation that was founded in the early 1990s and has been on the grow ever since.
The genetics that we've been working on for the last 2+ decades has been for efficiency and profitability. So that's been our focus, is really trying to get cattle and genetics to fit our environment that we hopefully will help impact profitability for other producers across the United States, wherever they may be.
Today, Circle A Angus is home to more than 7,500 purebred Angus cows spread across more than 25,000 acres. The Circle A team works to maximize their stocking rates to get the most from their grass. But a serious challenge every year is dealing with the issues caused by tall fescue.
Fescue toxicosis is probably the leading thing to losing revenue, and that would be coming through not fertility, but actually the ability to breed by a spiked temperature in that animal. And then of course, you know, if you have grass out there and the animals need to consume it, if their temperature is elevated by fescue toxicity, they're going to want to shade up or find water, which would lead to more herd health problems, you know, whether it be foot rot or just, you know, a temperature that would create more respiratory situations for that animal or its calves. So you have decreased fertility, decreased milk production, and then grazing time.
We also know that fescue has a cost to reproductive performance. Your calving rates can drop down 25 to 50%. And so the cost in overall calf production, the weaning weights, it's all associated with fescue toxicosis. Fescue toxicosis is caused by ergot alkaloids produced by a fungal endophyte that infects Kentucky 31 tall fescue. It costs the industry, the cattle industry, about $1 billion a year.
Now there's another management strategy that reduces the impact of fescue toxicosis. Research and trials conducted at Circle A Angus and other locations show that by applying chaparral herbicide early in the spring, tall fescue seed heads, where the toxin is most prevalent, can be suppressed.
The seed-headed suppression is important because that's where your toxicosis starts from. All that energy that would go into a stem or go into a seed head is now going into foliage that is more palatable, more higher quality protein, as I understand it.
What chaparral allows us to do is to go in and suppress the seed head on tall fescue. So making an application within a 2 to 3 week time frame before the seed heads actually emerge on fescue keeps the fescue seed heads from actually coming out. And so when we get into mid-May, late May, we have a pasture, if it is straight Kentucky 31 or these wild type fescues, we have a pasture that is in a very high quality vegetative state.
At Circle A Angus, they used chaparral to treat 1,200 acres in 2014 and then increased the treatment area to more than 10,000 acres in 2015. Time after time at Circle A and other locations, the results of using chaparral for fescue seed head suppression were clear.
We saw almost a 5 to 6% bump in conception rate. We saw anywhere from 20 to 30 pounds of gain on cattle on control pastures compared to chaparral treated pastures. And then just the overall length of grazing, it was able to stay viable for those cattle all the way through into August until we start getting fall rains again.
So suppressing seed heads with chaparral, it's not uncommon for us to see at least 90 to 95% suppression of the tall fescue seed heads. And how that plays out in the field in terms of production of cattle, we see it almost completely mitigating the issues with toxicosis in the summer. So our cattle are out grazing in the hotter parts of the day where normally they'd be standing in the shade. We're seeing better body condition on cattle because they're able to graze more. We're seeing better stocker performance on our stocker cattle, and we're also weaning heavier calves.
Beyond tackling the fescue toxicosis issue, the use of chaparral also delivers value when it comes to taking out weeds and making room for more grass.
What's really neat, I think most producers can go out in their field and find that they need weed control to some level or another. And to go into a fescue pasture that already has issues with toxicosis and being able to go in and control the weeds and also mitigate the effects of toxicosis on the cattle, it's a win-win situation.
I can tell you that chaparral has eliminated 95% of the weeds in our pasture. It has enhanced our cattle grazability because of the seed suppression. The cattle want to stay out and graze longer and come out earlier. And chaparral has also done, I think, a good job of suppressing that seed to where the nutrition in the blade of grass is greater.
As with many other tasks on the farm or ranch, when it comes to tall fescue seed head suppression with chaparral, application timing is everything.
Performing an application of chaparral within 2 to 3 weeks of seed head emergence is critical. During that time frame, we get the best seed head suppression and we get probably the best weed control. Now, as far as timing and preferred timing, it would be as close to seed head emergence as possible without actually having seed head emerge in the field.
Help in managing tall fescue, removing weeds, and growing more grass on the same acres are all results that will keep chaparral in the toolbox at Circle A Angus.
We'll go back and use chaparral again. And using chaparral has helped us, in so many ways, let alone the seed suppression is a great benefit. So we're getting dual action out of chaparral with the seed suppression plus killing all the weeds out there. So with that being said, why wouldn't you try to do that? Because you're killing two birds, so to speak, with one stone. And that goes back to us trying to be as efficient as we can. It has worked really well for us, and I think it'll work very well for anybody else trying to gain the same type of goals that you are and trying to increase fertility, reduce the heat in your type of cattle from the fescue toxicosis and, weight gain. It's all about weaning off a better and bigger calf.
At Circle A Angus in southwest Missouri, I'm Brian Baxter reporting for NCBA's Cattlemen to Cattlemen.
With pastures greening up, now is the time to consider using chaparral for fescue seed head suppression. Dow AgriSciences is offering a free fescue seed head suppression kit. To get your own copy of the kit, just call 1-866-USA-BEEF. And for more information, you may also visit the website rangeandpasture.com.